even if the ICJ does rule against Israel, what is really going to happen? Um, the Israeli government can just continue to violate international laws, violate human rights, and do whatever they want, and nothing really stops them because no nation is willing to send troops to stop the Israeli government from committing their crimes. Unlike, with Russia, where tons of nations are sending troops and arms and funds to the Ukrainians so that they can defend themselves. The same thing needs to happen for the Palestinians, otherwise they won't be able to defend themselves.
Inside a building known as the Peace Palace, a generational conflict is being assessed.
Israeli-Palestinian conflict did not start on 7 October 2023. The conflict is not about a certain Palestinian faction or group. The conflict dates back to an earlier century.
Israel's almost 60-year occupation of the Palestinian territories is being examined in the International Court of Justice. Türkiye made its oral submission on the final day of public hearings, arguing Israel is breaching international law by attempting to change the demography of the region.
Yeah, it's considered a genocide to attempt to change the uh, change the demography of a group or the demographics of an area, uh, because that means either forcing people out of the area or, mass killing people, which is a genocide. If this was happening to the Israeli government, the United States would be definitely acting differently. I mean, we had a war against a nation who was trying to do just this, commit a genocide against, several groups of people, and change the demography of an area.
Deputy Foreign Minister told the court Israel's occupation is the genesis of the regional conflict.
The unfolding situation after October 7 proves once again that without addressing the root cause of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, there can be no peace in the region. Palestinians seek recognition of their inalienable rights in their own land.
In December
Yeah, how is it just for one government or a small handful of governments to be able to dictate that a group of people don't have rights, they can't create their own nation or state, and that they have to be occupied by another government? That is insane. We're not allowing Russia to occupy Ukraine and take it over, so why is Israel allowed to do this?
2022, the United Nations General Assembly requested the ICJ assess the legal consequences of Israel's policies and practices in the occupied Palestinian territories. Since then, more than 50 countries have made submissions to the court, the vast majority arguing that there are double standards and that international law isn't being applied to all countries equally.
No, international law isn't being applied equally to all countries, and it is about time that that actually happened because nations like the United States and the UK would definitely be in for some consequences. Uh, we cannot pretend that the United States does not violate international law quite often.
However, in submissions last week, the US and UK broke ranks with the international community and urged the court not to deliver an advisory opinion against Israel.
Oh, no surprise. The two biggest allies of the Israeli government doesn't want the ICJ to punish the Israeli government for their international law violations. It is no surprise there, since both of those governments do love to uh, violate international laws themselves, and both of the governments seem to be in heavy support of the Israeli government committing a genocide.
Established framework. Any movement towards Israel's withdrawal from the West Bank and Gaza requires consideration of Israel's very real security needs.
How does how does the Israeli government sending settlers and creating illegal settlements in the West Bank secure make the Israeli government or nation more secure? What's happening in the West Bank is terrorism and land theft, and somehow it's supposed to be okay according to the United States.
We were all reminded of those security needs on October 7, and they persist. Regrettably, those needs have been ignored by many of the participants in asserting how the court should consider the questions before it.
In an interview with TRT World, the Deputy Foreign Minister disputed that stance.
It is a shocking argument to me because this issue came to here due to attitude of some of these states in the Security Council. If they had allowed the Security Council to play its role in solving this problem, in condemning the illegal occupation, it wouldn't be here. That's why peace-loving states had brought the issue to the General Assembly, and General Assembly asked the court for an advisory opinion.
The ICJ
Yeah, because how can anybody actually claim that the Israeli government needs to have illegal settlements in the West Bank in order to keep the nation secure against threats? That would be like the United States saying that uh, we have to start building settlements in Mexico in order to stop people from migrating into the United States. It would make no sense whatsoever.
is expected to take about 6 months to deliver.